Imagine this. You're sitting on a smooth rock beside the sea. The sun has almost disappeared. The water reflects the last traces of light, turning silver and blue. The tide moves in and out without urgency. Nothing is rushing. Nothing is forcing the moment to become something else. And as you sit there, listening to the waves, you begin to notice how much of life unfolds this way. Not all at once, not according to a schedule, but gradually, quietly, in its own time. Perhaps that is why the moon has fascinated people for centuries. It never appears exactly the same from one night to the next. Some evenings it shines brightly. Other evenings only a small crescent remains. And sometimes it seems to disappear altogether. Yet even when we cannot see it, we know it is still there, continuing its cycle, continuing its journey. Moonstone carries a similar reminder. Not every season of life is meant for clarity. Some seasons are meant for becoming. Moonstone is often associated with intuition, inner guidance, and trust. Not because it promises certainty, and not because it reveals every answer, but because it encourages us to become comfortable with what has not fully revealed itself yet. Many of us spend a great deal of energy trying to figure everything out. We plan, we analyze, we search for signs that we're making the right choice. And while reflection can be valuable, there comes a point when more thinking no longer brings more clarity. Sometimes it only creates more noise. Moonstone invites a different approach. To pause, to listen, and to trust that not everything needs to be understood immediately. The sea offers this lesson every day. No wave asks where it will end. No tide worries about whether it is moving in the right direction. The ocean follows its rhythm. There are moments of movement, moments of stillness, moments of retreat, and moments of return. Life often moves the same way. Yet when we find ourselves in a quieter season, we sometimes assume something is wrong. We wonder why progress feels slower, why answers haven't arrived, why the next chapter isn't clear. But perhaps nothing is wrong at all. Perhaps you are simply in a season that cannot be rushed. Most of us would like certainty before taking a step forward. We want to know how things will turn out. We want reassurance that our choices will lead exactly where we hope. Yet very little in nature works that way. A seed doesn't see the tree it will become. A wave doesn't see the entire coastline. And the moon never rushes through its phases. Each simply follows its nature. Perhaps trust is not about knowing where everything leads. Perhaps trust is allowing yourself to take the next step without demanding to see the entire path. Moonstone reminds us that growth often happens beneath the surface, long before there is anything visible to show for it. There is a quieter kind of wisdom that lives beneath constant thinking. It isn't loud, it rarely insists, and it often speaks in feelings before it speaks in words. You may have experienced it before. A gentle sense that something feels right. A feeling that keeps returning. A direction that continues to call your attention. Not because someone else told you to follow it, but because something within you recognizes it. Moonstone encourages us to listen to those quieter currents, not blindly, not impulsively, but with curiosity, with openness, with respect for the wisdom we already carry. There are moments in life when uncertainty feels uncomfortable. We want answers. We want decisions to feel obvious. We want the future to arrive early. Yet uncertainty is often where possibilities live. It is the space between chapters, the pause between tides, the darkness before the moon becomes full again. And while that space can feel unfamiliar, it is often where important changes begin. Not all transformation announces itself. Sometimes it arrives quietly, like the moon rising over the sea, like a tide slowly turning, like a truth that becomes clear only after you've stopped chasing it. As you imagine the waves moving gently along the shore, allow yourself to soften your grip on the questions you've been carrying, not because they don't matter, but because they may not need to be solved tonight. Perhaps the next step will reveal itself in its own time. Perhaps clarity is already forming beneath the surface, and perhaps you are closer than you think. Not to having every answer, but to trusting yourself. So, I'll leave you with this. What part of your life are you trying to force clarity around? And what might happen if you allowed a little more space to unfold?